What's up, y'all? What's up? It's your boy Carter. Welcome to Carter's Life. Check that new invite. You know what I'm saying? So, I ain't been on here in a couple days. You know what I'm saying? But me and my man LJ had a conversation, and it was real enlightening. You know what I'm saying? It was real enlightening. I asked him. Well, he asked me, at what point do you become a man? And it's difficult to put a stamp on when a person grows into who they're supposed to be, right? It's difficult because you're looking at it in what form. They say men mature slower than women. That's probably true. But when does a man become a man? It varies. It varies. It really does. Like, um, depending on your circumstances. Because there's some dudes that gotta become men like early on because of like their family circumstances, right? So I told him, I'm like, well, look at me. Like, I grew up in a rough environment. So was it becoming a man at that age or was it becoming a survivor at that age? I grew up in one of the roughest neighborhoods on the northeast side of San Antonio. Mind you, I'm from New York. So like I was used to getting it in with it, whoever, you know what I'm saying? Like we fight whatever, I ain't worried about it. But I had to tell him like growing up as a man and then growing up in survival mode is two different things. So he sits down and he says, okay, let's break it down piece by piece. I said, okay, let's break it down piece by piece. First thing he said was, when do you become a man to your woman? I said, that, see, that's the first thing. That's where people mess up. Because that's not the first thing you do. You don't become a man to your woman first. You become a man to yourself. He was like, oh. So, oh. I go, a woman raised us, right? She gave us life. She brought us into the world. All of that. But one thing we understand is that a woman can't teach a man how to be a man because she's a woman. So you need a man figure, a man figure to teach you how to be a man. I ain't saying necessarily gotta be your daddy, but it's gonna be somebody to teach you how to be a man. You can't be a do boy. For me, my mom worked mad hours, right? So I had the streets. I had cousins, but they was in the streets too. So I learned the hard way, you know. But I'm not ungrateful for those lessons that I learned. I'm not ungrateful for them. I needed those lessons to make me who I am today. So when did you become a man is a rhetorical question that you can't really answer. Now, when you become a responsible human being, that's different. When you become a human being that's trying to build itself from the bottom up, that's different. Because when you're going through the phase of life, the worst thing you can do is lose somebody, right? One of your friends die, people move. You just go through different phases and it affects you differently. You know what I'm saying? I say if you can stand on your own, that's cool. But we all need somebody to talk to, lean on for whatever reason. Hold on. To lean on for whatever reason, right? The one thing people want you to do when they say you're not a man, you're not a man. Well, explain to me what it's not. Because if I got a job and I got my own stuff and I'm providing for myself and in that way, I'm not a man because of that. So he was like, all right. So then he was like, now when do you become a man to a woman? I said, when a woman deserves you to be a man to her. That don't mean you walk into a situation and you're just the man she wants. Nah, man, because she might not be the woman you need. See, people think that when you go through hard times with somebody, right? Oh, you weren't the man I wanted. No, you just didn't understand what life was about at that moment. You'll get somebody tell you you need to do it the way I want to do it. For what? Your way definitely may not be the way I want to move. My way may not be the way you want to move. But if we get on the same page and move simultaneously as a unit, nobody can touch us, right? Then it got into uh, why do men hold on to pain longer than women? And I don't think that we hold on to it more or longer. I think that because we were trained to just deal with it, however, it becomes a problem for us. It ain't nothing worse than a man who's doing the right thing and he still gets screwed over. It's just like a woman who does the right thing and she gets screwed over, right? Because she's paying for the mistakes of the last person, right? So is he. But he's paying for it mentally. Mentally is what kills a lot of things, right? Then I asked him, I said, what happens when you just sit down and have a conversation with God, right? He said, what do you mean? I said, like you want to get married. God's going to send you the wife. He's going to send you a wife. And he looked at me like I was like off. God's going to send you somebody that's compatible to you. Y'all may already met each other. Y'all may already be in love. Y'all may be already like there and just don't know it yet. Y'all may need to take a break from each other just to find yourself back to each other. That's what it is sometimes. What's meant to be is meant to be is what I told him, right? So then he asked me, he says, why are you always like calm? And I want to tell y'all something. I took years to develop being calm. It took me years. When I was growing up going to school, I was always like the calm kid, but I was the kid that got busy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll get busy quick with you. You know what I'm saying? And I would always tell them I'm calm because when you look at my family setting, everybody in my family setting, and I mean every last one of them with the exception probably like two of them, is some wild ones. Like they really like a lot of dudes in my family and females in my family are really, really arrogant. Like really arrogant for no reason. For no reason. Like some of them are so arrogant that they get in their own way. So like me, like I tell the truth on mine. Like they be like, "Oh, Carter's stuck up, man. Please." It ain't I'm stuck up. Just I'm looking at you and I'm just like, I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not finna compete with family members. I ain't gonna compete with nobody in this world because when you find the right person, y'all, the only competition y'all should be in is the one y'all in together, and that's to get that bag and go on vacation and to be happy. So when my family members walking around talking down on people, like if they talk down on me, it's funny to me because I don't hang with them, right? I can't talk down on them because I don't hang with them. But if I see you doing something that's goofy, I'll be like, yo, look at this bum. I don't understand. So I told him sometimes you gotta watch family. Family gets you before anybody else. Before a friend, anything your family gets you first because the jealousy of family will sit quickly. He said, okay, what do you want to do with your life? I said, let me tell you something right now. Going back to college this summer, I'm gonna bust my behind to get a degree. And then once I have my degree, my next plan is to put a ring on it and say, here's my life, me, my wife, and my children. You feel me? And if she got kids, which she does, then her children, because the unit is all it's about. That's it. Do you know how many people are jealous of people that are happy? I'm 46 years old. I ain't got time to be waiting around. I had to find me first, right? It's easy to go back to things that you're used to doing. That's the easy part. The hard part is to stay away from it. So once you realize, like, yo, I'm worth this, and I want somebody to know my worth. I don't care if you value it, but just know it. I don't need you to value my worth. I need to value my worth. But if you just know it, if you know that I'm worth something, I'm good. I'm good on it. I see people say, all I want to do is wake up next to the person that's supposed to be next to me every day. The thing about it is, if you get next to a person who's stuck up and who's willing to hear you and compromise, you can't be with that person long term. And I mean, I'm looking at it like, wow, right? What happens when you're smiling and that person's not the cause of it? Well, who's making you happy? Myself. I don't need nobody to make me smile. I make me smile because I've been down the road of where it doesn't make sense, and now I'm at the road where it does make sense. And if people see you with somebody else and y'all are smiling together, do you not know you? That is when you will become a target. Why are they happy? Why are we not invited in on their happiness? Because not everybody deserves to be in you and your person that you're with's happiness. They just don't. I got it. Like when my friends act like they're not happy for me, I know they're not acting. They're not happy for me because they're miserable in their own way. So for me to love you and be happy with you, I can cut people off left and right because I've proven that I've done it. Cutting people off is nothing. Keeping them away is nothing. Once you get a person out of your life, keep them out of your life. Because if they're untrustworthy, then there's no reason to fool with them. I started on my journey of peace and tranquility, right? Because I was always so frustrated, man. I was frustrated. I was frustrated with my family. I was frustrated just trying to hold a relationship together. I was frustrated because I never dealt with problems that I needed to deal with. Now that I've dealt with them, I don't care what anybody says. You say whatever you want. I don't gotta talk to you. I don't want to look at you. I want to be happy and content because when I'm sick and I'm about to die, I'm gonna be by myself. I'm gonna be with somebody who loves me unconditionally, who has my back. And I tell people this all the time. The best thing you can do is find somebody when you sick and they there, and you tell them, look, just put me in a nursing home. I don't want this to fall on you. And they say, we in this together. That's the person you need to have. I don't care how much weights people lift. I don't care how cute a person is. I don't care about none of that. If you loyal and faithful, there's nothing we can't get through together. One thing, men, I gotta tell y'all something, because the dude asked me this before. He said, man, Carter, I ain't doing nothing wrong and I'm still hearing BS. I said, let me tell you something. You gonna hear that BS as long as it takes for you to hear that BS. You gonna hear that. As long as it takes, you gonna hear that BS. Hold on. Field trip. Great. Another field trip. So when you sit down and you listen to that woman say, I put up with so much from you. You put me through this. Take it. Take it. Let her get it out of her system. And when she's done, say, I don't want to hear about it no more. Women must understand when a man lets you crap on him, like you talking down on him, da da da, and you bringing up stuff he don't want to hear no more. Trust me, in a minute he ain't gonna want to see you no more because he's in his head, and I'm speaking on it. In his head, he's saying, if that's all you can bring up, then there's no future in it. Women, when you got a man that's going off and he's yelling and screaming, let him get it all the way out of his system. Let him and ask him, is that it? Are you done? You got it all out? Yeah, I don't want to hear about it no more. Because in order to have a healthy relationship, you have to let the past bullshit go. It has to go. And you have to be an understanding person. You have to look at it and say, okay, that happened. That happened. That happened. Now is it done? So we can move forward to our future. Nobody really understands like the littlest things make people happy. So can you imagine if you're just sitting there talking to somebody and you're like, yo, I miss you? That one little thing makes their world. I got family members, man, that I look at. Some of them like they have great. Well, let me take that back. On my mom's side, I think only two of them have a good, solid marriage. On my dad's side, a lot of them, but on my mom's side, only two of them have a good, solid marriage because you got to look at it like they didn't let the family get involved in their personal business. Like when I get married, nobody can talk to me directly anymore. Like you can't ask me for money, nothing. You gotta go to my wife. I say this because it's the truth. You gotta go to my wife. You can't talk to me because I'm gonna tell you go to my wife and ask her. She gonna say go to my husband and ask her because now we're a union. We have to agree because now your money became my money became your money, our money became our money, our home became our home, not everybody else's home. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I mean by you got to tell people the truth. Like it may hurt. I'd rather somebody tell me the truth to my face than lie to me. Just tell me the truth. It ain't gonna happen all the time because people value like your feelings. I watch people around me do me dirty, and I just laugh at them because little do they know I don't care, right? But when you look at the foundation of which you come from, if you come from a solid foundation, there's nothing that can stop you from being great. A man's got to work. A man that don't work ain't worth nothing. He ain't worth nothing. A man got to go to work. I don't care how much the struggle is. Let me make this clear to y'all. For 25 years, I paid child support and I barely came home with a check. I won't even call it a check. But if I needed more money, I go pick up cans, I make t-shirts, I do whatever I gotta do, mow lawns, whatever, because a man gonna do whatever it takes to make sure things get done the right way. That's what a man gonna do. And if a man got a strong woman behind him, telling him, I'm proud of you, keep up the good work, you came a long way, guess what? You can't break him because he got a strong backbone behind him. But if you got a man who his job is donating plasma or doing science experiments on himself or herself, you got a man like that, you got a crash test dummy. Like you ain't got a man that's just willing to go to work. You know why most people don't want to work? Because they behind on something and they don't want to pay it. They don't want to see that come out of their check. But they don't understand if you just pay it as you go, it ain't gonna be that bad. Some of you guys like trusting people so much. Like I'll never live with somebody and I can't make no calls in the house. Like I don't call no shots, and they can kick me out whenever they feel like it. Oh no, not on duty. We gonna both have a say so in this. I'm moving in. I need a contract drawn up that we, no matter what happens, we in here. You know what I'm saying? I watch people give up their whole life to go live with somebody else and then get kicked out 4 months later. Man, they stupid. Like you don't got no backup plan. I'm like, oh no. That's why you got to be solid in your mind first. Somebody can be like, oh, I want somebody to come home to. Yeah, so do I. But guess what? I ain't come home to arguing. I ain't come home to no dirty house. I ain't come home to a house full of people that I didn't invite. And that's where a lot of my friends tell me right now where their mindset is at. And it's different, but it's the same. Because you have to be able to say, I come a long way. Why am I going to go backwards? You feel me? So when you go backwards, you really not moving in any direction, but backwards. You're not making any progress. It's okay to backtrack a little bit and look at your steps that you made mistakes on, but you can't live on them backtracks. You got to go forward. My heart is good right now. My heart is happy, but I want it to be even better. See, I was so afraid to let things go that I just held on to it. Eventually, you gotta let that shit go. So I let it go. Like, I let that go because I'm missing my blessing, holding on and holding on and holding on. Now you gotta let that go so you can have a blessing, so you can be like, yo, it don't matter. It may hurt for a minute, but it don't matter what people say or think about you anymore. Live your life for yourself and the person you want to be with. And if somebody loves you the way they say they do, they gonna tell you. They gonna say, I love you, but this is what you did. Please work on that. And once you work on it and you say, okay, let me work on it, but please don't tell me about it no more. Just watch my actions. Watch the man or woman you're gonna become, because you are valuable to you first. Carter's like,